What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to part 4 of my best skill sets guide series. In this series I give you guys the best skill sets and the best skill inheritance options for each and every unit. Once again I want to give a big shout out to the creator of this tool. All of his links are going to be in the description down below. So in the previous episodes I covered the S plus tier units, S tier units and some of the A plus tier units. So in this video I'm going to be covering more A plus tier units, so let's begin. And the units that I'm going to be taking a look at is going to be Bunny Lucina or Spring Lucina. And Bunny Lucina is the second best blue mage in the game if you give her Blargh Plus from a 5-star Odin, and if you cannot upgrade your Odin to 5-star and if you do not want to waste 20,000 feathers, then even the standard Blargh works out, as she will be able to wreck house, but Blargh Plus is recommended if you really want to invest in Lucina. So for her assist skill we're going to be giving her Ardent Sacrifice, and for her special we're going to be giving her Moonbow, because Blargh Plus does increase her special trigger cooldown by 1, so Moonbow actually becomes a 3-turn cooldown move, so you want to use the lowest cooldown moves whenever a weapon increases the special trigger cooldown. And for slot A we're gonna leave Swift Sparrow, as it is the perfect skill for her, and for slot B we're gonna give her Desperation, and for slot C we're gonna give her Threatened Speed. Now Blade Tome users, as you might have seen, they have a very standard archetype set, and this is no different. And with this said, Lucina becomes the second best blue mage in the game after Lind, and if you do not have a Lind then you should definitely invest in Lucina. So one Ardent Sacrifice does put her in the Desperation range, which is amazing, and her matchup chart is actually really good. So I'll show you guys how much destructive Bunny Lucina can be. So here we have Lucina, and let's give her Blargh Plus. Swift Sparrow is right there, Desperation 3, and Moonbow. And let's assume that she has used one Ardent Sacrifice, and now she's at 25 HP. Now, let's give her the standard boost from Erica or Ephraim. Whenever you're using a Blade Tome user, you definitely want to run a buffer with them so that you can increase their damage output. So let's give the standard bonus from Erica or Ephraim. So she gets +3 attack from Siegmund or Sieglind, +4 speed from Hone Speed, +4 defense from Rally Speed, and this is her matchup chart, as you can see. So 105 wins and 2 losses, and the only significant loss is going to be against Julia. For her Sacred Seal you want to give her attack +1, and she only loses to Julia and Female Robin, and nobody really uses Female Robin, so Julia is the only significant loss. And some people might want to run Life and Death instead of Swift Sparrow, just so that they can get the 1 extra attack and 1 extra speed point, but that only helps her win literally 1 more matchup. And Swift Sparrow is the better option because it preserves her bulk and allows her to take occasional hits, and it's her default slot A skill, so you do not have to waste any SP on her. So this is her best skill set. Now let's move on to our second unit, and that unit is gonna be everyone's favorite pothead, Donnel. So for his assist skill you want to give him Reposition. For his special you want to give him Bonfire, because this does give him 16 points of additional damage. For his slot A you want to give him Death Blow, and for slot C you want to give him Lance Breaker 2, and for his slot C you want to give him Threatened Defense. Donnel is actually one of the best units to be used with this new arena matchmaking system, as he has got a very good raw rating, and as you can see he is in the top 10 highest rating units, so that is amazing. And the reason why I've given him Lancebreaker 2 over 3 is because it's not that easy to get Lancebreaker 3, because you will have to sacrifice a 5-star Earther, and for doing that you will have to waste 20,000 feathers, or you have to sacrifice a limited unit like Narcian. In these guides, it's pretty much implied that if you do not have version 3 of a certain skill, you can even use version 2. Like if I recommend Life and Death 3 for a unit, and if you only have like 1 Minerva, you can even run Life and Death 2, as the difference is quite marginal. So that's why Lancebreaker 2 is also pretty good on him, and Bonfire gives him additional 16 points of damage like I've said before, and Reposition is the better assist skill for Donnel, because Donnel is not meant to be a passive healer, so Reciprocal Aid is pretty useless on him, and there aren't really any skills that he can abuse with Reciprocal Aid. And Donnel with this set has got amazing matchup. I'll show you guys that in a moment. So here we have got Donnel, and let's give him Death Blow for his slot A. And for his slot B, let's give him Lancebreaker 2. And for his special, let's give him Bonfire. And that's pretty much it. So his matchup chart is very clean. He only loses to like strong green units and female Karin. As you can see, female Karin does beat Donnel in a 1v1 scenario. And for his Sacred Seal, you want to give him attack +1, obviously, because it does help him further with his damage output. And Drag Back is his default skill, and it has got good synergy with Brave Weapon users, but Lancebreaker allows him to win more matchups and get some notable wins over Fury Ephraim, as I'll show you guys that. So here we have got Ephraim, and Fury Ephraim is very common. So if you want a 1-round KO Ephraim, you have to run Lancebreaker 2. So without Lancebreaker, as you can see, Fury Ephraim survives, so that's why you gotta run a Lancebreaker. Same thing goes for Fury Sharina. Fury Sharina is also very popular. So Fury Sharina lives with like 1 HP. So yeah, you have to run Lancebreaker if you want to kill her for sure in 1 round. And the main threat is, of course, Ephraim. You can even knock out Sharina if you have got a plus attack Donnel, but you cannot knock out a Fury Ephraim even if you have got plus attack Donnel. So that's why Lancebreaker is needed if you want to KO Fury Ephraim. And if your team does not have trouble against Fury Ephraim or Fury Sharina, you can even run his default skill, which is Drag Back, which is amazing, like I've said, for any Brave Weapon user, as it allows them to hit and run. So this was Donnel's skill set, and let's move on to our third unit. Now I'm going to be taking a look at a unit that was considered to be one of the worst sword units in the game, if not the worst. And with this mechanic, this unit has rised to A+ tier, and that unit is Draug. Now Draug is a very unique unit who has combination of niches which no other unit in the game has. First of all, he is the fastest armored unit in the game, and this is amazing because this means that he takes less damage because he does not get doubled that often, and he does not have to run Berry Fighter skill on his slot B like other armored units. Secondly, Draug does boast highest draw rating for a sword unit, as you can see, so he works incredibly well with this new arena matchmaking system, and I'm actually working on a Draug myself. Thirdly, Draug is the only Brave Weapon user in the game with no distinct weakness. Like, as you guys might have seen from these videos and from your own experience, that Brave Weapon users in this game suffer from 2 main weaknesses. Quad attacking sets like Cordelia and Setsuna cannot take a hit to save their lives, and then units like Reinhardt, Donnel, Jeorge, who have got the bulk to take hits, but they cannot survive because they get doubled by literally everyone in the metagame. So I hope you guys can catch my drift. Draug does not have that weakness, he isn't slow, and he has got amazing defense stats, so honestly, if you leave him in the enemy's attack range, he's most likely gonna survive. And finally, Draug is the only armored unit in the game that can quad attack other units, and the reason why he can be a good Brave Weapon user despite his average base attack is because of the fact that he can abuse his massive defense stat with the help of Bonfire skill to get ridiculous amount of additional damage. So for this set, you want to run a +B Draug, and I usually do not recommend a specific IV spread for a unit, and I usually just take the neutral stats into consideration. But the thing is that Draug cannot be summoned as a 5-star unit, so you have to train a Draug from a 3-star to a 5-star unit, and if you're upgrading a 4-star unit to a 5-star unit, you should make sure that the unit you're trying to upgrade has near perfect IV spread, because 20,000 feathers is a lot and it takes a lot of time to gather 20,000 feathers. And this is the set which I think is the best set for him, in my opinion. So for his assist skill, we're going to be giving him Pivot, and Pivot is absolutely needed on armored units to increase their mobility, and Swap is also an option, but with Pivot, we can traverse 3 tiles as opposed to traversing 2 tiles with Swap. But in some arena maps, Swap is better. For example, that one lava map you will always face in arena, there Swap will help you more because there isn't really a room for you to pivot your units. So it's up to you if you want to run Pivot or Swap. Pivot is usually the better option out of the two, and for his special we're gonna give him Bonfire, of course, because he has got a massive defense stat, and Bonfire with Fury gives him 21 additional points of damage, and that's a lot of additional damage, so this is the perfect special for him. Fury is an amazing skill for him because it bumps his speed to 33 and gives him higher offensive and defensive stats. And for his slot B, we're gonna go with Wings of Mercy, as this gives him additional mobility, and for a quad attacking unit this is huge as he can protect his allies both offensively due to his quad attacks and defensively due to his defense stat. He does not need to run Desperation like other quad attacking units like Cardeli and Setsuna, because Draug has got amazing bulk and he can actually take hits. And for his slot C, we're gonna go with Threat and Speed. After Threat and Speed debuff, he can quad attack tons of units, and with this Draug set, I highly recommend you to run Hone Speed support, as he can reach 37 speed with that, and that makes him a very scary offensive and a defensive unit to face. So please use a Hone Speed ally with him, and let's take a look at his matchup chart. It's absolutely beautiful with this set and Hone Speed support. As you can see, I've given him 4 speed as the bonus because we are assuming that you're running Hone Speed support. And as you can see, he has got 0 losses. This is actually amazing. 74 wins and 0 losses. And for his Sacred Seal, you want to run Speed +1 as it lets him win 3 additional matchups. If you do not want the extra mobility with Wings of Mercy and you want to win more matchups, you can even give him Sword Breaker. And with Sword Breaker, his matchup chart becomes even better. And as you can see, with this, he's able to defeat pretty much every sword unit in the game except for Draug himself, Eldigan and Hinata. So he's able to effectively check a lot of sword units, and as you can see, his matchup chart becomes much better. So it's up to you if you want extra mobility or if you want to win extra matchups. I wouldn't really recommend running Life and Death on him, even though it does win him a couple of more matchups, as I'll show you guys. So he is able to win 7 more matchups, but it isn't really that worth it in my opinion, because of the fact that it makes him take more damage and reduces his top tier defense stat. So that's why Fury is pretty good on him in my opinion. So this is Draug's skill set, and Draug is a phenomenal unit, as you can see, with amazing HP, defense, attack and speed. And let's move on to our 4th unit, and now I'm going to be taking a look at Tharja. And the reason why I left her was because of the fact that at that time she wasn't S tier unit, she was still chilling in the A+ tier, so that's why I unfortunately left her. So for her skill set, you want to run Ardent Sacrifice. For her special, you want to run Moonbow because just like Bunny Lucina, her weapon does increase her special trigger cooldown. For her slot A, you want to run Swift Sparrow, and for slot B, you want to run Desperation, and for slot C, you want to run Threat and Speed. Like I've said before, Blade Tome users have a standard archetype for their skill set. 1 Ardent Sacrifice puts you in the Desperation range. However, keep in mind that this will not work if you have a plus HP Tharja. You need not run Life and Death on her, and Swift Sparrow does work equally good on her, and I'll show you guys that in a moment. So let's take a look at her matchup chart. So let's give her the standard boost from Eric or Ephraim. So +3 attack, +4 speed, and +4 defense. For her Sacred Seal, you want to give her attack +1, and let's assume that she has used 1 Ardent Sacrifice and now she is at 29 HP, which is in her Desperation range. And as you can see, she only loses to 2 units, and those 2 units are Lind and Odin. So you never really see Odin being run in arena, so Odin is really not a concern. Lind is of course a concern because she's quite popular, and Triangle Adept Noe also beats this set. So her matchup chart is actually really good. You need not run Life and Death because, like I said, Swift Sparrow is equally good skill, and it doesn't really affect your matchup chart that much. You can even run Life and Death too if you want to. It's up to you. If you have a 4-star Hannah available, you can easily give her Life and Death too. And if you have extra Bunny Lucina, then I guess you can go with this skill, as this does preserve her bulk, and she does have a pretty decent stat of defense. So it's up to the units you have, and this is Tharja's skill set. Now let's move on to our 5th unit, and now we're going to be taking a look at Hinoka. So Hinoka has got 2 sets. The first set works for any Hinoka, but the second set works particularly well with a plus speed Hinoka. So this is her first skill set. So for her assist skill, you want to give her reposition, because reposition is amazing on flying units, as you can put your teammates across mountains and lava. And for her special, we're gonna be giving her Luna, and Luna is really amazing on Hinoka. So see it this way, Hinoka kills a unit by hitting them twice with her Brave Lance, and now the special trigger cooldown of her Luna is at 1. So she moves on to another target, and on her second hit of Brave Lance, she's able to trigger Luna, and many times she will just kill the opponent with the help of Luna. So Luna is amazing on her, and a specific example is Fury Ephraim, which is a very popular build in the current metagame. So with the death blow and her special trigger cooldown at 1, she's able to kill Ephraim in 2 hits without taking any damage, and if this wasn't the case, she wouldn't be able to kill him. So that's why Luna is really good, and she cannot do the same with the Moonbow, as I will show you guys. So let's actually give her Moonbow instead of Luna. And as you can see, Ephraim survives with 1 HP, so that's why Luna is in general the better special for her. So let's give her Luna. And for her slot A, you of course want to give her Death Blow. Death Blow is amazing on the Brave Weapon users. And for her slot B, you want to give her Drag Back. Drag Back is a very good skill for her slot B, because Hinoka is able to hit and run, and she does not have very good bulk, so this just work out for her. But if you want to win more matchups, you can even run Lance Breaker, and with Lance Breaker you can actually 1-round KO Effie, as I'll show you guys. So this is her matchup against Effie without Lance Breaker, and with Lance Breaker she's able to 1-round KO Effie, as you can see right here. So it's up to you if you want to run Drag Back or Lance Breaker. And for slot C, it's up to player's preference. In general, like, slot C skills are very flexible, and it's up to the player to decide. But I'd probably run Threaten Defense or Hone Attack. And for her Sacred Seal, you want to give her Attack +1. And this is Hinoka's first skill set, and this is her matchup chart, as you can see. So let's move on to her second skill set, and this skill set only gives her slightly more wins, and this should be only run if you have got a plus speed Hinoka. It's actually very similar to the Cordelia's quad attacking set. So for her slot A, you want to give her Life and Death. For slot B, you want to give her Desperation. And for her assist skill, you want to give her Reciprocal Aid. And for slot C, you want to give her Threaten Speed. And for her Sacred Seal, you want to give her Speed +1. So this set does get outclassed by Cordelia, as she does have better speed and an easier way of getting into her desperation range compared to Hinoka. But hey, if you want to run Hinoka, you can definitely go for this set. So let's compare both of these sets. So this is her matchup with the Life and Death Desperation set, and this is her matchup chart with the Lance Breaker Death Blow set. And as you can see, the difference is pretty marginal, so it's up to you what set you want to run. If you've got plus speed Hinoka, you can definitely go for this Life and Death set. Otherwise, like Death Blow and Drag Back or Lance Breaker set definitely works. So this was Hinoka's skill set. Now let's move on to our 6th unit, and now we're going to be taking a look at another bunny unit, and this time we're going to take a look at Spring Chrom or Bunny Chrom. So Bunny Chrom is a very all-rounded axe unit with good attack, defense and speed, plus he has got the constant form of recovery thanks to his carrot axe. So with this set, we want to run Drawback or Reposition as his assist skill. Shove isn't really that good of a skill, and since Chrom is such an all-rounder, giving him a bit of utility with Drawback or Reposition is really nice. For his special, we want to give him Moonbow. Now you might think that giving him Draconic Aura would actually be better than Moonbow, but with this set, Moonbow will win him more matchups over Draconic Aura, so that's why you want to run Moonbow. And for his slot A, we want to give him Swift Sparrow from his daughter, and this is his best slot A skill in my opinion, because this gives him attack speed and also preserves his bulk, which other slot A skills like Death Blow, Darting Blow and Life and Death cannot do. So that's why in my opinion this is the best slot A skill for him. And Fury is another good option if you cannot sacrifice a Bunny Lucina. Now for his slot B, it heavily depends on your team's demand. If you want to 1-round KO Effie, you want to run Lance Breaker, and if you want to 1-round KO Hector, you want to run Axe Breaker. So it's up to your team's preference. Threaten Defense and Threaten Speed are also options for his slot C, but you can even run Hone Attack because like I said, Chrom is a pretty all-rounded unit, so if you want him to support his allies even more along with the drawback support skill, you can run Hun Attack. For his Sacred Seal, you want to give him speed +1, and speed +1 will win you more matchups compared to attack +1. And as you can see, Bunny Chrom is a pretty balanced unit. So let's move on to our 7th unit, and now we're going to be taking a look at Lilina. So she is very similar to Sanaki, so we want to run Rally Speed on her, and Rally Speed plus Hun Attack is a really good combination on Lilina, as she's able to support her teammates when she's not attacking. Like I said, she is very similar to Sanaki, and if you do not have Sanaki or if you do not have good IVs on her, Lilina can pretty much do the same thing and be a support nuke. So for her special skill, we want to give her Draconic Aura because she has got a massive attack stat, and Draconic Aura gives her 16 points of additional damage with Life and Death, and Life and Death allows her to nuke a lot of units and double some units as well. And you can even run Death Blow, but as I'll show you guys in a moment, Life and Death is actually the better skill. So here's the matchup chart of Lilina with Life and Death. As you can see, 60 wins, and this is her matchup chart with Death Blow 3, so 47 wins. Now Death Blow Lilina will actually fail to 1-round KO Hector. As you can see by this, even a plus attack Lilina will fail to KO a Hector, but a Life and Death Lilina, even with neutral attack, can actually 1-round KO Hector, so that is huge for her, and that's why I think Life and Death is best for her. Sword Breaker allows her to pretty much 1-round KO literally every sword unit in the game except for Ryoma, so it's an excellent option for her slot B skill. And for slot C, like I've said before, Hun Attack is really good, and for her Sacred Seal, you wanna give her speed +1 as it allows her to win even more matchups. So this is Lilina, and this is her matchup chart. So let's move on to our 8th unit, and now we're gonna be taking a look at Faye, and Faye has got 2 skill sets. So for her first skill set, you wanna give her Luna. For slot A, you wanna give her Fury, and for slot C, you wanna give her Hun Attack. Now Faye is a support and a utility unit, as she is able to buff ally stats with her weapon and with Hun Attack, and she also has great utility with drawback skill. And for slot A, Fury is the premium option for her, as it has amazing synergy with her default renewal skill, and that's why Fury is the best option for her slot A. Hun Attack is a better skill compared to Threaten Attack for her, because if she initiates an attack, she is pretty much able to buff 3 stats of allies, and that is amazing. And with this set, you want to run Attack +1 as their Sacred Seal. So this was her first skill set, and for her second skill set, you want to give her Lightning Breath Plus, and with this you can try to make her a green Noe, but I think you should only do that if you end up with a plus defense Faye, as her bulk becomes really nice and she can actually function as a frontline unit. And for her slot B, you want to give her Quick Riposte, and for her special, we want to give her Moonbow because Lightning Breath does increase your special trigger cooldown. But the problem with this set is that out of all dragons, Faye has got the worst matchup against Falchion users, so she will not be as good of a frontline unit compared to Noe, but hey, it's still an option. And with the skill set, you want to run HP +3 Sacred Seal on her, and this was Faye's skill set. So let's move on to our 9th unit, and now we're going to be taking a look at Jeorge. So for Jeorge, you want to run Brave Bow Plus, and for his assist skill, you want to run Pivot. Pivot allows him to travel across the maps easily and threaten more units. And for his special, we're going to be giving him Luna because it's an amazing skill for him, and it gives him 15 points of additional damage versus an opponent who has got 30 defense. Life and Death is the premium option for his slot A skill. Death Blow is also an option, but Life and Death will win you more matchups. For his slot B, we want to give him Sword Breaker, and with Sword Breaker, Jeorge is able to 1-round KO every sword unit in the game except for Draug and Hinoka, which you aren't really going to be seeing that much in Arena. So this makes his matchup chart even better. Threaten Defense and Threaten Speed are equally good options, so it's up to you which one you want to run. And for his Sacred Seal, you want to run Attack +1. So let's take a look at his matchup chart, and I'll show you guys how good Jeorge can be. So this is his matchup chart with the same skill set that I just recommended. and he has got 91 wins and 2 losses, and the only popular unit he loses to is Hector. So this matchup chart is exceptional, and if you have got a plus attack or a plus speed Jeorge, this becomes even better, as you can see. And with the death blow, this is his matchup chart. I'll show you guys that. And he does not win that many matchups, so that's why Life and Death is the better option for him. And this is skill set for Jeorge. As you can see, is absolutely amazing. He's one of the best archers in the game after Setsuna and Takumi. He's actually on the same level as Takumi, to be honest. So let's move on to our final unit for this video. And now I'm going to be taking a look at Eliwood. So on Eliwood, you want to run Pivot because Pivot does give him more movement options and he's able to pressure more units on the map. And for his special, you want to give him Draconic Aura, as he has got a massive attack stat, and with Life and Death he's actually able to get 17 points of additional damage. Life and Death on an offensive unit like this is perfect. Death Blow also works if you cannot give him Life and Death 3, as it does stack up with his weapon boost, so you can definitely do that. For his slot B, we want to give him Sword Breaker, and with this skill, he's able to one round KO every sword unit in the game except for Draug, Hinoka, and Eldigan. But a plus attack Eliwood will one round KO Eldigan with this skill set. Threat and Defense is a pretty good skill for his slot C because it does help him further in doing more damage to his opponents. And for his Sacred Seal, you want to give him Attack +1 because we are trying to maximize his damage output. So this set does really well against the whole cast and he's able to hit extremely hard. So that is gonna conclude this video. I will be doing Ogma and Lonku in my next part of the series. I'm not really gonna be covering Navarre because I have done a full unit review on him, so you can check that out. And in this episode, we looked at some underrated units like Draug, Donnel, and Jeorge. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and share this video with your friends. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.